All right, guys, day 3. We are rocking it out right now. I am so proud of all you. We made it this far. We've been doing everything we need to do to make sure we stay on task. This has been phenomenal. So day 3 is actually a continuation from day 2. We are still working on fractions on a number line. We are still working on understanding that fractions are part of a whole. So now we know that we can see fractions as part of a whole in a shape, but also on a number line. So now you should have your lesson 15 packet, this little red one. And I'm actually going to give you time to do page 1 and 2 on your own. Well, technically, page 169 and 170 on your own. This part is actually fairly easy. You're labeling the number line with whole numbers. So go ahead and pause the video and give yourself time to work through these problems. Alright, so now we're getting to the meat of it all. So let's first look at our example. It says a number line shows just the section from 0 to 1. That is one whole. So from here to here is one whole. It'd be as if we took a square and stretched it out to show the one whole. There are 6 equal parts in this section. Again, we count the spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we label the lines. Each part is 1/6 of the whole. So if I look here, this is 1/6 of this whole thing. 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, 1/6, and 1/6. To label the marks, count like you do with whole numbers. So I start at 0. I go 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, 5/6, and then 6/6. So now, I'm going to move this down. It says, use this number line to answer problems 1 through 4. How many equal parts are in this whole? So again, we're going to count the whole, or we're going to count the spaces. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal parts. That's number 2. What fraction does each part show? So remember, if we look back up here, it says each part is 1/6 of the whole because we had 6 equal parts. So if we have 4 equal parts, each part would be what? Good, guys, 1/4. Now you're going to label the mark. So if we're at 0 and I'm counting, my first mark is going to be what? Good, 1/4. Then if I go again, 2/4. Then if I go again, 3/4. And then again, 4/4. Excellent job. Alrighty. Now, number 4. What is another name for 1? So if we go back to where we labeled our number line, we had 0, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and then when we got to 1, we said 4/4. So what would be another name for 1? Good, 4/4. Remember, when our numerator and denominator are the same, that is one whole. Let's keep it going. Alrighty. Oh, it messes up when I do it that way. Hang on, guys. Alright, use this number line to answer questions 5 through 8. So how many equal parts are between 0 and 1? So if I look, I'm going to count my equal parts 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 equal parts. Now, let me spread this out. It's bothering me. The tone. It's a little better. It's easier to see now. Alright, how many equal parts are between 1 and 2? 1, 2, 3. Alright, what fraction does each part show? So we know we have 3 equal parts. So each individual section would be what fraction? 1/3. Good job. Alright, and now we have to label our fractions. So we're starting at 0 and we go to our first mark. That's going to be 1/3. Then 2/3. 3/3. 4/3. Good job, guys. 5/3, 6/3. Excellent job. All right, now I want you to go ahead and you're going to answer 9, 10, and 11 on your own. Use what we just did for 5 through 8 to help you do 9, 10, and 11. Pause the video to give yourself some time. Number 12 says, write the fraction 3/2 where it belongs on this number line. So if we look, we know that it's partitioned into 2 equal parts. So if we're going to count, we're going to say 1/2, 2/2, 3/2. So right here, you can write right above 3/2. Explain how you knew where to put 3/2. So we're going to write this out together. This is actually number 12. So I knew where to put 3/2. What did we do first, guys? We counted our equal parts. So by counting my equal parts, and we knew we were counting by what? Or we had how many? We had 2 equal parts, which means we counted by halves. So there were 2 equal parts, which means I counted by halves. I counted 1/2, 2, let's go comma, 2/2, and stopped at 3/2. All done. Alrighty, so now, almost done, guys. This is amazing. Oops. So, last part, this is going to be our constructor response. This is really good, guys. This is going to help us. It says, study the example problem, underline 2 parts that you think make it a particularly good answer and a helpful example. So here we have our example. It said, Peter said the fraction for point C is 3/4. So he says right here is 3/4. Steve said the fraction for point C is 7/4. Who was right? How did you decide who was wrong? What is the mistake? Show your work using pictures, words, or numbers. Explain how you decided what to draw. So here's what they said. Peter's answer is wrong. Peter saw that each whole is separated into 4 equal parts. So he knows that the denominator of the fraction is 4, and he has to count fourths. Peter's mistake was he started counting fourths at 1 instead of 0. The point for 3/4 is closer to 0 where I drew it below. So they even gave you a picture. Steve was right. He knew that the denominator is 4 and he has to count fourths. He started counting with 0. From 0 to C, there are 7/4. The fraction for point C is 7/4. So we want to underline 2 parts that make a particularly good answer and helpful example. So for me, I would say that this section and this section made it a really good answer, and it was a helpful example because they broke it down to exactly how they knew what he did wrong and why the other person was right. So now it's going to be our turn. It says, Jackie said that the fraction for point A is 5/6. So this is looking very similar to what the example was. Anne said that the fraction for point A is 5/3. Who is right? Tell how you know. Who is wrong? What is a mistake? So here's what we're going to do. But first, we need to look. So from 0 to 1, we do have 1, 2, 3 equal parts. So we do know our denominator is 3. Okay, so, which means each fraction is going to be what? 1/3. Because again, we have 1, to 3 equal parts from 0 to 1. So if I'm counting, I would go 1/3, 2/3, 3/3, 4/3, 5/3. So who is right? Anne is right. So let's start off with that first part, and then we can go to why Jackie's wrong. So Anne is right because, how do we know she's right? Well, we know that there are 3 equal parts. So because the number line is partitioned into 3 equal parts. When counting on the number line, she started at 0 and counted by, we're going to say thirds, until she got to point A, which is 5/3, period. And let's go back and see. So that's what they said. Oh, but they said he knew that the denominator is 4. So we can add that into ours as well if we like to. So we can say Anne is right because the number line is partitioned into 3 equal parts because, spelled that wrong, the denominator is 4. Or you can say because the number, which we said, actually, so. Some forward story. Sorry, guys. Alrighty. So now we need to talk about why Jackie is wrong. So let's look. So Jackie said that the fraction for point A is 5/6. So if I look, I'm thinking she went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She counted all the way to 2 instead of stopping at 1 to get her equal parts, and counted by 6. So what we can say is Jackie is wrong. The mistake she made was she counted all the equal parts from 0 to 2 instead of from 0 to 1. When she did this, she got 6 equal parts and counted by 6. Ooh. Right, and then this would be a perfect way. And then now down below, you can even draw this number line and label her 6 to show. Good job, guys. This was excellent. So now you can pause and finish writing this out. When you are done, you're going to do this activity here. So it starts off like this. So what you're going to do is, and you can read the directions, you're going to fill in the blanks to explain how to find a fraction on a number line. You have 2 word banks, a word bank and actually a number bank. You're going to read the sentence, and my advice would be to think of the word before looking for the word. So if I look, the picture shows A. So what does the picture show? A number line. So I'm going to go here, and number line is there, so I'm going to write it on there. And then I'm going to cross it out so I know not to use it. And you're going to keep going. Some of your sentences will involve words. Some will involve numbers. When you're done, read it out loud and see if it makes sense. If at any point it doesn't make sense, go back. Okay, guys? When you're done, make sure you get on iReady and complete your fractions on a number line assigned lesson if you have not done so. Good job, guys. Great way to end day 3.